Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to do another video today about something a friend of mine brought up a while back. Oh, Jack, can you get Logie off the steps?
Logie.
Or Luke. A friend of mine brought up, and I've been thinking a lot about it lately and how he interpreted it. So a friend of mine, it was his pastor that told him, if it's God's way, it'll flow. If it's your own way or of the flesh, you'll have to force it. So I'm not saying, like, I'm not telling you guys like that's the truth. I've just been thinking a lot about it, and how that in my life, things that have happened in my life that I've had to force, and things in my life that have just flowed, and the difference. And yeah, so I was gonna talk first, like, careers, I guess. Let's talk about careers. There's some things I've done in my past, like I've said, for careers or hobbies. Well, they're work. I guess some of my work is hobbies that I've had to force, and things have happened because of that. You know, it's my kids have suffered, my wife has suffered because of that, and it comes down to just selfishness, basically. I get caught up and consumed in what I think is best for our family, and I force it. And just because I like it and I think it's best doesn't mean that's what's best. So, and then as far as careers that have flowed, like my career as a lineman when I went to line school and stuff, that whole career has always just flowed. It's always just, I was going to go to school for construction management, and I knew deep down I didn't want to go to school for 4 years. I knew I was going to struggle. For some reason, it was in my head, that's what I was going to do. Well, then my sister came, she worked for a company that, there was linemen there, and she came home one day from work and said, you know, you should look into being a lineman. I looked into it, and right away, yep, did it. And it's just flowed ever since. And then I did some real estate stuff. Once I got full-time lineman, I started buying some houses, and that was fine. I would say that flowed too, up until kids. Jack, can you not kick the table? It's shaking the camera. Up until we started having kids, and then I started doing, can you grab Luke off the steps again? Once I had kids, I started doing real estate again and got into it, and that's where I feel it was forced. And that's where my family was cut short, and it didn't flow. There's parts where you can think like, well, yeah, there's times where it's going to be hard. It's not just going to be easy. And even when it's flowing, when things flow, it's still super hard. Like my lineman career, like that was never easy. Like I still had to try hard, but it just flowed. Other things I've written down, which I've had other people. I shouldn't say I've witnessed other people where they try to force, like, friendships, and they try to almost invite themselves, you know, or they just try to force friendships, and it just don't, like, a good friendship will flow. It'll just, you'll mingle better, you'll know each other better. It just happens. And I feel I've witnessed a few where it's been trying, and they never last. Those friendships obviously never last because one or the other just finally gives up. But the other note I had here is hobbies. I've never struggled with having hobbies. I have way more things that I want to do than I probably should. I have everything, and I feel like everything I ever do interests me. So I have plenty of hobbies, but I see people forcing hobbies. I've witnessed people who they're trying to make their marriage better. They'll try to start doing things together, hobbies, or, you know, if they pick up golfing, or if they go pick up bowling, or they pick up these things. It's forced. It doesn't flow. It's just not natural. And what a lot of times ends up being is you just taken away, like I said, you're taking away selfishness. You end up taking away from your wife, your kids, you know, something that's more important. And I've had hobbies. I still have some, well, you can see in the background over here, I got some chickens and stuff, but I had a lot of animals there for a while, and some of it flowed, but that was the same kind of thing. I feel it was forced much more than flowed. Some of it flows, the chickens, the hobby stuff, but when I tried to get a lot of cows and beef cows and stuff, that was being forced, and it just comes right back to it. It was selfish. It's one thing I thought I really wanted to do, I needed to do it, and it was forced. The beef cows were definitely a force, because like I said, it as soon, I feel like everything I forced, it instantly starts to take away from the family. And some things are great, you know, some things the kids and the family can join in with, some hobbies, you know, and those are the ones I'm trying to do more of. Gardening, every age can help. He can rip good plants and bad plants out of the ground. But you know, there's hobbies that everybody can join in, and those are the ones I'm starting to concentrate more on. The beef cows, that was pretty much, you know, the kids, they couldn't, yeah, they thought it was cool to see the calves and stuff like that, but there wasn't much that they could help doing. And like I said, it just started taken away from the family, so it's forced. So I guess just talking here, the more it comes down to is all the stuff I've forced in life ends up taking away from the family, and it comes down to selfishness. You know, it really does just come down to me being selfish. And in this journey, that's why I'm kind of documenting this journey of life. That's the more I talk about things, the more I'm thinking about them. It's starting to come down to living in the flesh too much, and just being selfish and not concentrating on eternity and the real reason for life, and that's focusing on eternity. Like, what does God put us here for? What are our talents? And yeah, it's been fun the last few months of us slowing down our lives and on this journey of life. So yeah, it'll be fun. My plan is to do a video here every day for 30 days, kind of a thing I'm doing, and bring you guys along. Thank you. See you tomorrow.